Well, I took 3 trades today on my 20, 50K funded accounts with Apex. 2 solid trades, 1 mid trade. We're going to go and recap those now. These were done on my live stream, which happens every morning on my main channel, Trades by Matt. So make sure you come hang out over there. It's free to watch. Let's go and dive into the trades that I took today. Yo, good morning. Man, we're getting some big blocks flying around. We got 800 on the Nasdaq right now. Just a second ago, we had 500 and 600. Now we got 800. This is pushing biggest size I've seen on the books. I think that I can cognitively remember. News on the session. We had PPI come out this morning and jobless claims. Now we've got, thankfully, no testifications, but we do have a Trump reciprocal tariff news conference, which is probably going to be, I would assume, big. We'll see. At noon, and at noon we also have 30-year bonds. So both of those are going to be probably pretty big later on in the session. I don't know if positioning and stuff will be happening currently before the tariff announcements. I don't know. There's an 800 block on the books. There was a 500 and a 600 a second ago. So I have no clue. Just gonna sit and be patient. What's up, Ace? Dr. Manis, Palmetto, morning. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. They just pulled the block right before the open, huh? That's news on the session. This is what the daily chart looks like currently. Trying to maybe pop out of the little range. Top of the range currently at 21,965 or so. Honestly, get above 900. That push into the 60s looks pretty solid. Can't get above 900, you know, push back into volume. 550s, 600, 550s, also pretty interesting, right? Just from a daily range perspective. Markets are open. We got VWAP sitting at 50. Yesterday's value area high sitting at 45 or so. Yesterday's pulling control at 800. Overnight lows down at 750. Overnight highs up at 920. Yesterday's close also right around yesterday's point of control at 800. Would any broker let you throw 800 contracts if you had the margin? I don't actually know the answer to that. I really don't know the answer to that. What is the margin requirements on 800 contracts? Let's see, it's probably what, 20K or so right now. Just call it 20K just for math. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head for initial margin currently, but 800 times 20K. $16 million. Heyo. Any recommendations on concepts to focus on as a new trader? Yeah, if you're like brand new, I would really focus on why, like understanding why the market is moving, right? Understanding how buying and selling is working, how the bid ask works, market buying, market selling, limit buying, limit selling. If you understand those concepts, then I'd look into what makes up candles and understanding how candles work and understanding the data that you're seeing behind it. Open, high, low, close, right? On different time frames. After that, I would look into some like support and resistance concepts, because you're going to use those. Everybody laughs at support and resistance, but you end up, it's like the kind of a framework for almost everything else that you're going to use as far as definitions go. So I'd look into that. So after you look at candles, candle types, doji, hammers, all that type of stuff, just kind of pure price action, if you will, and support and resistance, I personally would then kind of shift into volume analysis. But I would spend some time with those other things, just looking at candles, watching a lot of candles, watching a lot of support and resistance, seeing how you would play on it in like a practice account or something. Get those reps and then move on to some volume analysis. Get the reps there. Probably a dumb question, but is there any way to improve practice discipline other than forcing yourself to be disciplined? You know, I don't know the answer to that. I think the only way to practice being disciplined is to be disciplined in a very like cognitive way. Like a first thought is I'm going to be disciplined. You know what I mean? Good question. Discipline to me is like any other habit building. Takes about 21 days. I agree with that. I do think discipline is a habit. I agree. I completely agree with that. I actually like the way you said that, Dave. I think discipline is a habit. It's a choice as well. You choose to be disciplined. You choose to not be disciplined. I mean, I think, or at least with my personality, it's a cognitive choice every day, and it's not the easy choice, right? It's easy to not be disciplined. It's harder to be disciplined. But I do think it becomes somewhat of a second nature habit after you've forced yourself to do it long enough. One of my favorite quotes, have the type of discipline that makes your peers uncomfortable. Damn, that's pretty good. Retested 900 here is pretty interesting. Or we're just going to go straight pop the 60s that we were talking about the daily chart. All right, this is a nice push into the, you know, if we close here, it would be pretty nice. Even 20, 30 points, or 10 points higher, excuse me, not really 20. 20 would be pretty tough on the retest, I think, but I mean, it is interesting. 909. Delta is like the questionable part here. But this is an interesting idea, for sure. Especially right into the prior open. The block at 900 is a little questionable. I'm gonna let it sit for just a second, see if I get the fill or not. If it cracks 909, the rotation to 901 could happen fairly quick. We popped the prior high. I'm gonna go and just take this trade off. I'm gonna go and take that off. We popped the prior high, so there's no shot I'm coming back for that fill. And we just actually ran the day high as well. Now we're going into the 64.5. We're very close to that daily level here. Well, it was the right plan. I mean, right direction. I'm talking about wanting to clear out that liquidity and run those highs. Didn't get the fill. Honestly, it was starting to look a little rolly, to be perfectly honest, to me. But I mean, it did the thing it needed to do. Now we got juice through 22K basically. Draw the line, Matt. Oh God, you really want me to draw this line? Don't you enjoy the uppies? If I draw this line, the uppies are done. Because that's how it works, right? Whenever I draw the meme line, it cracks. Not really, in my mind, not a whole lot of opportunities to get long here either after the, you know, the last 100 points. Super aggro buy, 80. Pretty aggro. Risking 8 points off the prior wick. A little bit of sellers coming through. This is with the anticipation that we go run, you know, 22K. Got close to the fill there. Missed it by 1 point. And there's the target. Should have front run it a little bit, I guess, huh? Right idea. Missed it by a point. Ran up 10. I'm not really interested in that same retest, though. Let's see what would have played out. If I got filled right there, I would have been filled right there. I think the first test is the best test, even on a front run like that. Yep. And then let's see if I would have gotten stopped out if it breaks the prior low. Which then brings the 64 play or whatever into question. 65 here. Brings that into question. I technically wouldn't have gotten stopped out yet. I think it was at 71 or so. Okay, I would have gotten stopped out there. So I did make the right decision by pulling that. Missed it by a point, ran to target, pulled my order off because first test is the best test. It comes back down to where I wanted to get in and then flushes it to where I would have gotten stopped out. So I made the right call. A little bit of sellers kind of trying to melt away here. We're at the prior open. I kind of think we probably hold this prior open and push into 22K, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna take this line off. It actually did its job pretty well. Held it up, retested, rejected after it cracked through. It's always funny. All right, I'm in at that 65 retest. I'm gonna go move that break even. For a little bit more fluff. There we go. There's 10 points off of the 65 retest, that prior high. Quick, easy 10 pointer. I hate to say the word easy. Quick 10 pointer. I'm not gonna say easy. Quick 10 pointer. Took a point or two of drawdown, nothing too crazy there. Going with the trend up, retesting the prior high there at 65. I mean, we had talked about that we definitely talked about it before. I mean, even here long, same area, stop at the new lows, I don't think is a terrible idea. Just look at that 22K block at 22,000 on the Nasdaq here. Big block there, in theory, kind of working as a magnet, right? Psych level as well. But that was a clean trade. I'm happy with that retest there. It's like an untested wick rate, basically, right? Retest of the prior high. And then even here, like this nice bottoming candle, 50% retrace. Stop at the low. It's kind of the idea there, but I didn't want to take back-to-back 1 minute trades. It's not my style at all. Even if it fires up like that, I hate doing it. It's usually pretty tilt inducing for me. What is your thoughts on IBH when there's a big block so close? I don't know. Maybe a breakout potentially actually in play. Because like you think about it, we push back up into the highs here. You get to 95 with a block at 22. It kind of makes sense, especially with a double top there. Like I would potentially put a buy stop order at 94, 95 here. You expect a little bit of slippage, but if we push that high, I have a hard time envisioning us triple topping 96 without running the 22K block. And I don't know if we get full movement through 22K, but usually a few points squeezed through on a big block run like this is on the table. So what I would say is like, if it looked like this, a buy stop order in at 94.5 or something, we go up, I probably get a couple ticks of slippage. We run the 22K block because it's so close and this fills out. You know what I mean? That would be like the trade idea there. I don't know if it's a great idea. I don't think it's a bad idea either, though. It's kind of in between. You know what I mean? I'm open to giving it a shot, though. If we push it. If we get up there. Buyers are looking like it wants to. And realistically, it probably needs to be like this or something. Yeah, below that. It just needs some legs to go up into that block. Oh, it's lit. It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. Sounds like it's time for us to run the 22K block, huh? IB is also set currently. IBH and IBL. First hour high and low. All right, let me read out 2 dad jokes for you real quick so we can get the market moving. All right, number 1. Wednesday, February 12th. This is yesterday's dad joke. What is the leading cause of dry skin? What is the leading cause of dry skin? Towels. All right, I'm about to get filled here. I want a little bit more aggro. Give me some more aggro. Not doing it yet. So at this point, I actually really like that entry because if we go run that high again, I think we do go through it. Thankfully, I didn't get filled. All right, Thursday, today. Why did the bed wear a disguise? Why did the bed wear a disguise? It was undercover. Not doing it yet, huh? I got filled long. Now I want the continuation. And if it doesn't happen quick, I gotta get out. Push 96. A little bit of a snoozer, though. Little sweep like that are a little concerning. Quick open sweeps. Do it now. Now's the time. Break even there. Didn't get there. That's okay. Kind of a... I mean, definitely mid. Mid at best. Just didn't do it, and I'm not willing to let that go back inside after the sweep of 22K. I don't think that makes any sense. How far did we run it? We ran it by 2 points, and I think I had it at 4 points. I don't actually remember. I think it was around 4 points, maybe 4 or 5. So I missed it by a few. I think we probably still go grab it, to be honest, but I'm not willing to let that sweep the big block. Instant comeback inside of IB for like a rotation down, I think is super sketchy. Still seems like it probably has legs, to be honest, and I would have gotten my full 10 points, but I think there's better opportunities out there. Do you think it will reverse? I have no clue. Looks like it just tapped that wick, huh? 38. I'm a little concerned about this 25 block. I can tell you right now, this is not the environment. This is not the type of price action nor environment that I enjoy fading. And I know a lot of people out here do enjoy this type of fade, but like I do not enjoy fading this move. Especially when we've had like no pullbacks all day. Why would I think that I am gonna collect the one pullback that happens? I've done it plenty of times live and by myself over the years, and it just never works out well. So I've really tried to stop doing it. All right, nice close there. I'm interested in this. 50% retrace on the 5-minute candle here. If it sweeps into lows, I'll be basically flat on the session, and if it pushes, I will be up, because that's how trading works. But I would like for us to bounce the 50% retrace here off the 31 area that we've been bouncing the last couple times after a little sweep through it. Get some legs, pushes up into 40. That would be ideal. But we could easily rotate into the 20s, low 20s, right? I wonder if I should have moved break even there. I think it flashed 95, so 4.5 points. Flash 95 again. This thing flips red, it's probably going to go down. I'm going to go ahead and move it break even. I don't think it makes sense for me to stay into this candle after a heavy close. For this one to flip a red as well, I don't think makes sense for me to stay in. So I'm going to go and move that break even. Whatever happens here happens. I like the uppies, but I'm not willing to let this go red. So went ahead and moved it break even. Got pretty close there. 39. I was 2 points off. Trying. Kind of playing the top of the little short-term range, honestly. See if we get, there we go. There's the fill. Nice. I'm pretty happy with that trade too. A little 50% retrace on the 5-minute candle after a nice little bottoming candle after, you know, one of the larger pullbacks on the session after we really started going up. Pretty clean. Honestly, pretty happy with all the trades I took. This one was like the most mid trade for sure. This breakout, we just didn't see the juice. We saw it later. Still like ended up break even there. I'm fine with that. This trade was very clean. I think the retest off the 65 level here was really clean. Just to recap, this was a clean trade. Like a point or two of drawdown, nothing crazy. Ran right up to 10 points in a minute. This trade I think was pretty clean too. It was a little sketchy with this hammer. Like, I mean, closing kind of strong to be honest, but right at that 31 level is where we had been bouncing. 50% retrace of the wick after a little sweep through as well. Nice candle close. So I stayed in it. I ended up moving my stop to break even when it was up like 2 or 3 points, just because if we flipped this green, this green candle, if this flipped red, I think it would have been kind of nasty. And so I just decided to go ahead and move it green, or move my stop to break even, because I thought that if it was to flip it, it would just get gross.